The Forgotten Age Investigator Expansion contains 5 additional investigators and 188 player cards used for deck building, but no new scenarios. The Forgotten Age was the third expansion cycle for Arkham Horror the card game and originally appeared on the 10th of May 2018. Now, almost 5 years later, it is reappearing in fresh and more convenient packaging in 2023. First up is this Investigator expansion, slated for release in February, followed shortly after by the campaign expansion in March. The box has new artwork featuring the 5 investigators, which is on both the front and sides to help you distinguish it from older product. This is the same size packaging as the current investigator expansions, which is handy if you retain these. On the back is something about an expedition, which is no longer relevant if you just want these cards to replay your core box or some standalone content. And yes, that is a 5 wild icon card, cause why bury the lead, right? It confirms that this box is just player content, no new scenarios, and if you bought this the first time round, then you shouldn't need to repurchase it. Or should you? It reminds you that you do need the core box to make use of this, as there are no chaos tokens or any tokens or main rulebook, etc. This is still just an expansion to the core set. There are also the sleeving requirements if you want to protect your cards using Asmodee's in-house brand Gamegenic. That is 1 pack of Mini American Board Game, although you won't need it if you bought a pack for your core box, and 4 packs of 50 standard card game size. But this can be misleading as Gamegenic now sell bulk packs of 200, one of which is all you need for these cards. That's right, this product contains a mere 193 full-size cards compared to the 209 of the Dunwich Legacy, which includes the 5 investigator cards for each. While we are here, don't forget you can check on the printing date of a product in the lower left corner of the barcode box. Shame they couldn't deliver it by Christmas, eh? Enough waffle, let's open this up. If this is your first expansion after the core box, you will notice that this comes in very flimsy packaging indeed, designed to be disposed of, unlike the sturdy campaign boxes with their plastic storage trays. There is a lone Ziploc bag with an investigator on the front, and it looks like nothing else. Don't panic and run to the internet at this point, as you will just look stupid. The rest of the components are under the cardboard insert, and you will need to fight to get them out. But eventually you should discover a second Ziploc bag of player cards, a smaller bag of mini cards, and a rule sheet. The box describes this as a rules booklet, which is very generous for a single sheet of paper. On the front is some flavor text, the expansion icon you will find at the base of each card in the set, and the rules for the seal mechanic, which is used with Father Mateo's signature card and a couple of Mystic cards. There is no definition of the alert keyword or explore mechanic, as presumably these will appear in the campaign guide. Over the page is an explanation of the new weaknesses, as this cycle introduced multi-stage weaknesses that were specifically designed for campaign play and to scare the stuffing out of you. If you are feeling confident with the rules and up for a challenge, put the weakness doomed into your deck at the start of this campaign. Don't read it and don't read any of the other weaknesses. Just wait for the surprise when you draw it into your hand. Let us know in the comments below how you got on. You're a monster! There is an explanation of the revamped research card mechanic, which you will have seen in Dunwich or Carcosa, and which was a staple of the early cycles. Finally, the credits and playtesters. It is always a joy to read the playtester nicknames. You can find great new phrases to use in your games, like punch 'em with the shovel. Double check there is nothing left in the box before you recycle the packaging, and you are good to go. In this box you have Leo Anderson, the expedition leader, Ursula Downs, the explorer, Finn Edwards, the bootlegger, who has obviously fled to South America for tax reasons, Father Mateo the priest, who was the first investigator to come with starting experience points to spend at deck creation so you could take some non-zero level cards, and finally Calvin Wright, who has zeros in every single skill. We will let you ponder that for a while. You can check them out on ArkhamDB or CardGameDB if you want to read the full text. And the best thing about repackaged product is all your favorite YouTubers and podcasters will already have videos about the investigators and player cards, including some from us. Check out our Father Mateo video. Look, we just said you can look this stuff up yourself. You don't need us to hold your hand. But there are 5 investigators, 1 from each class. 5 investigator-specific weaknesses, and 6 investigator bonus cards. 'Cause Finn's a crook and he stole an extra one. There are 5 new weaknesses, but only 2 are basic ones you can choose to add to your deck. It's complicated. 16 Guardian, 16 Seeker, although 2 are research cards you can't choose to deck build with. 16 Survivor, including the 5 Wild Icon Monstrosity Last Chance, 16 Rogue and 16 Mystic, plus 6 neutral cards, some of which are really good. Each player card has 2 copies, even those with the exceptional keyword. Don't forget you can mix all these cards and investigators in with your other cards right away. All the art looks the same, but they have made some changes. The Forgotten Age got off quite lightly in terms of errata. The game's designers were hitting their stride and really getting their teeth into making the mechanics as robust as possible by this stage in the game's life. But the 3 casualties, Father Mateo, Yotl, and the Skeleton Key have all had their text changed to the most up-to-date rulings, making it harder to resist rebuying these cards. Make sure you do download the most recent FAQ, as there are helpful clarifications on Ursula Down's Taken Action ability, as well as the play only as your first action stipulation that a few of the new Guardian cards use. The Forgotten Age contains some memorable player cards that are definitely being used in decks today. Veteran players, write down your top 3 cards from this set in the comments below, and new players, make sure you browse the accumulated wisdom being shared with you. No, you can't have a slideshow! But many of our original Mythos Pack videos have slideshows and some card commentary if you want to watch those. New players, this is quite important. The original distribution method for a cycle was to spread both the campaign and the investigators and player cards through 1 cardboard box and 6 monthly blister packs. You had to purchase them all and in order if you wanted to play through the campaign and collect all the cards. In fact, as of 2023, this is still the only way you can buy some of the campaigns. If you want way more info on Mythos Packs than is healthy, check out our definitive guide to these plastic pouches in our Search for Kadath video. He's not kidding! The new and the old cardboard boxes look very similar, and you can easily buy the old one on the right without realizing it. If you're at a game store, you can pick them up and see the original box is much thinner. But if you are buying online, then you might not be able to tell. Avoid any references to Forgotten Age Deluxe Expansion. You want the Investigator Expansion. You're best off looking for the product code number. Remember, if it seems too cheap, then it is probably the old version, and you won't find second-hand copies of this box in February 2023. Oi, Cheeky! This is for your own good! Another existing product is this Return to the Forgotten Age in its distinctive Oblong Box. This was meant to provide better storage if you were buying the Mythos Packs and also came with some additional player cards and scenario cards as a sweetener. It wasn't a convenient way of buying all the Forgotten Age in one go. You can see a full Waterside unboxing in our video. Don't worry about it, it was a phase he was going through. Anyway, none of those player cards are found in this box, so it is still a valid purchase if you are desperate for a few extra cards. These are becoming quite rare, however, so don't spend a fortune. Phew! Was that too much information? Too little? The Forgotten Age was an unusual time for the Arkham Chronicle. We never wanted to make a YouTube channel. It all kinda came about by accident. We had retired and hung up our tripod before finishing the Path to Carcosa cycle, figuring nothing could top a video filmed outdoors in the snow. It was only the fact that a copy of the Forgotten Age Deluxe box arrived at our door that we decided to dig out the washing up bowl and make another video for old time's sake. There are some nicely odd videos during this period, including a crossover with our sister channel The Imperial Chronicle, some classic hip hop, a guest appearance from Nate, who would go on to found his own Arkham channel Lost in Time and Space and become part of the Great Old Ones gaming podcast. We ran our all purple all the time crossover with the biggest Arkham content creators of the time. As we didn't know how to blur spoilers yet, we had to put our hand over things. And we had some awesome slideshow music, which we're pretty sure we'll get a copyright strike for any day now. Plus, there's the untold story of what happened to our first copy of Threads of Fate and how our cards ended up in such a state. Maybe one day you will see that. Along with our all Yithian all the time challenge. The UK also held its first ever Arkham Night, and we were right at home as it was held in a basement. Definitely fun times. Thanks for watching, everyone. You don't need to like and subscribe if you don't want to, but if you share this video it might help someone new to the game, and we might give you a copy of Arkham Horror. You never know!